Hi, this is Judy with Handcrafted Greetings, and today I'm going to show you how to make these backgrounds using stamps, acrylic paints, and stencils from Fun Stamper's Journey. You can purchase any of these products from my Fun Stamper's Journey site at funstampersjourney.com/JudyHedrick. Let's get started. You can use just about any color of paper. I'm going to use two different colors. I'm gonna do two different backgrounds. The first one I'm using is buttercream, and the other one is pumpkin bread. And the colors that I'm going to be using are green olive, blue lagoon, sweet berry, and pineapple smoothie. And I'm going to start with the light one first. Now with the two examples that I had, this one I started with a light base, and this one I started with a dark base. And I'll show you that. We're going to start with a light base first. And I'm going to use pineapple smoothie. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit on this piece of plastic. And you don't need very much at all. As a matter of fact, I like to thin this down just a little bit for this technique. I'll just spray a little bit of water on that. And just start painting. And there's really, this is just a base layer. I'll go one way for a little while, and then I'll find another section and go the other direction. And I just lay this down pretty quick. Of course, you want to be working on a surface that you don't care if you get paint on it. I use my craft mat. You just load up these layers. Whoops, And now I'm going to add some of the sweet berry. This is a very highly pigmented paint. It'll stain your sponges, so just be aware of that. So I'm going to load that up on my brush, and just going to add that layer. And I do this pretty quick. It's really, it looks really messy, but it's just the base coat, so it doesn't matter too much. And you don't even have to cover all of the paper. And I'll switch back and forth between my colors. It mixes them in a little bit. I want a little bit more of the sweet berry on that. This paint is really, really creamy. It's really nice to work with. I just got it today. I have not worked with the Fun Stamper's Journey acrylics before, and I'm really liking them. Okay. Yeah, use up some more of that. So it looks really messy right now, and that's okay. Now that I'm done with my paintbrush with acrylic paints, you always want to clean your paintbrush off right away because these dry really fast. Actually, the Fun Stamper's Journeys one don't dry as fast as the cheap acrylics, which is nice because they're you can work with them a little bit longer. But I clean it off, wipe it off as much as I can, and then immediately put it in water. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your brush. So now that I've got that base coat down, I'm going to build up the next layer. And for that, I'm going to use a stencil. Oops. And I've got the ring stacks stencil. And I'm going to use my Dauber and switch out my plate here. And I think I'll start with Blue Lagoon. I think these circles kind of make me think of water. And this, you're definitely going to want to wet that down a little bit. And I'll just work it out onto the plastic. You don't want it too thick, but you don't want this too wet either. Otherwise it'll go through the stencil. So work that out. And then I'll use a start on the edge and work my way in, and just a light tapping. And you build up as you tap. You don't want to get too much color on at once, or it'll go underneath your stencil. So you just keep layering. And I'll get a little bit more paint and layer that, and I kind of fade out towards the edges. Okay, there's one. And then I'll find another area to put this on. So I think I'll put some over here, come in from this corner. Oops, sure, there. I might have gotten this just a little too wet, because it's leaving these little ring marks where it shouldn't do that. So get a little bit more paint on there. There. And I think maybe I'll put just a tiny bit over here, just peeking onto the edge. Now I'm going to switch stencils and switch colors. When I switch stencils, I'm going to go throw this into a pan of water. That way it doesn't get the paint dried on it. Okay, now I'm going to go to the green olive. Oops. And I'm going to change my sponge out. That should go in water too. Well, I'm not going to put it in yet though, because I'm probably going to use it again. This can, like I said, this paint doesn't dry as quickly as some of the other acrylics that I've worked with, which is a good thing. Okay, so green olive. I'm not going to put as much water in this time. Just one squirt. Probably should have gotten a different. There. Okay, that looks about right. And I'm going to use stained glass. I haven't used this one yet. Again, I'm going to start in from the corner here. And you might think, ooh, green on pink, that just kind of looks gross. But it actually, this last time I did it, probably make a liar out of me now, but it actually looked pretty good. So there's that. And I think I'll bring some up from here. And, you know, put a little bit right there. And one thing I just realized that I forgot to do was the stamping, but it doesn't really matter which order you do these in. You can always add more layers. So there. And I'm going to go toss this in the water. And I'm going to stamp I've got the Decorative Doily stamp, and I'm going to use the Dark Roast True Color Fusion ink pad. I like to stamp off the edges for these. And let's see. There. You can do first and second generation stamping. It gives it a nice effect. And let's see, I'll do one more, just a little bit. Well, yeah, right there. And now I'll get the next one. Right there. And here. Peek it off the edge there. And last I'll do the small one. So that's really light. And there. So now we've got kind of that stamped background. And now we can add some more layers. Normally I do that before I do that dark layer, but we can always add more layers. So I'm going to go back with the Sweet Berry. And what did I do with that? Oh, that's right, I didn't use it yet. Now I have washed this, but this is how much that stained. It got stained from the paint. And I'm going to use the Starburst stencil. I like this one in the middle of those doilies. I think it looks kind of cool. So I'm going to take some of this that's already there. I'm going to let's dry it out just a little bit. So rejuvenate it. And just kind of work out from the middle. It has a really subtle effect because it's on top of the other pink. Do this one, it's on top of yellow. Okay. And let's get one over here. All right. And now I'm going to go back to the stained glass. Okay, and I think I'll put some yellow in here. Let's see, we need some over here. So we're going to go back to the pineapple smoothie. Okay, put that right in here, I think. See how those other colors are showing through? I love how this just, it layers. And I think we need some of the olive there. Or the blue. Yeah, I think the blue. So I just work with this and kind of play with the colors until I'm happy with how it looks. The thing about acrylics, you can layer, if you put it on really thick, it'll completely blot out the layer before. But if you do it thin, you'll have things showing through. And I just really like the look that it has. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll keep this. So there's that. And then if I want to add some pen work to it, I'll wait till this completely dries to do that. I'm going to set this one aside and I'll do another one, and we'll start with the olive green and the blue as the base on top of that pumpkin bread paper. Okay, so now I'm starting with the pumpkin bread paper, and let's see, I'm going to start with the blue Lagoon. And it's pretty much the same technique. You cover the background, although with this, I might let some of the pumpkin bread show through. So that's a nice dark color too. Probably need to add a little water. Yeah, okay. Oops. There. Now I got enough paint on the brush. Okay, I'm going to get some olive green, or green olive. This looks really drab, but it's going to look really nice once we have the other colors. And again, it looks like a mess. Now I'm going to do the stamping in the right order. Usually I'll do the background of one, do the background of the other, and then switch back and do the stamping, because this is a little bit wet, but acrylic dries pretty fast. So I think I can stamp on it. I don't think it'll be a problem. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the same stamps. But this time I am going to stamp, I'm going to stamp with Deep Lilac. Whoops. All right, now we have this nice dark background, and I'm going to add the sweet berry and pineapple smoothie, and I might bring in, I think I'll bring in some Cool Pool as well. We'll start out with these two, and I'm going to use the Artful wall stencil first. I think this is pretty cool. I think it'll look really well with this. I like this design right here, so I think that's what I'm going to focus on. The stencil's pretty big. And one thing with these is you got to make sure they don't move. Definitely need more. Okay, I want this to go on fairly dark. So I'm not going to water it down much because I want it to be dark and I don't want it to go underneath. Okay, that looks pretty good. There. Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's see. I like this swirly pattern here too, right there. I'll bring that one in. Oops. I'm just going to kind of bring that up and fade it out as it goes out. Don't want to hit the edge though, because I don't like that straight line. Okay, there. Almost looks like velvet because of that up and down. Oops, must have been some paint on the back. Oh well. Okay, and I think I'll go for these. It looks like feathers or something. Okay. Ooh, yeah. All right. Now let's go for some. I want some Starburst on that. Okay. And pineapple smoothie again. Ooh, cool. Like the way that doily shows through. Really nice. I'll do one on that one too. Yeah, no, I'll do one down here. Okay, and do another one up here. There's that. Now I think I want to add some of the Cool Pool, the rings. Okay, here we go. I'll bring some up from this corner. Cool Pool. Running out of palettes. Let's mix it on there. This paint's such a different consistency than what I'm used to working with. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll go back in with my darker colors and add a little bit more. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use some of this. Let's see, I'll use the stained glass, which I haven't used yet. I'm going to use the Blue Lagoon. I want to get this too dark, so I'm gonna tap it pretty lightly. I don't want to cover up completely the yellow or the pink. I want this to show through. You get a little darker toward the edge. Let's see how that looks. Okay. And I think that is done. So that's the way I do that. Now the next thing that I'll do is some pen work, and so I'll show you. I'll just show you the other pieces that I did. So is this one. And what I did was I took a gold gel pen and I just drew these swirls, and then I made them look like strands of gold. And it takes quite a while to do, but I find that it's very relaxing. The other pattern that I did was this. I can't remember what it's called. Both of these are drawn from Zentangles that I've done in the past. So I like adding that extra layer of doodling on the top. That's all I have for you today. Go have fun.